Welcome back to Be Spice. In this session, we'll discuss about a new topic, fugitive emission of valve. In fact, this was, a long pending one. As part of the control valve, I wanted to actually upload, but somehow it missed out, and now that this is the time. Okay, let's get into the agenda. So in this session, we'll talk about what is fugitive emission and the terminologies involved in the fugitive emission to understand better and on this emissions. Okay. Then the sealing types. What are the different types of sealings of valve stem? Then subsequent session will focus on why reducing emission is required, what is about the thermal leak risk mitigation and fugitive emission testing standard. Then the subsequent session, I'm going to come out with the various testing method in line with each standard. Okay. So that's the agenda. Okay. Let's get started. So what is fugitive emission? Fugitive emission or a kind of leakage, as you can see here, it's getting leaked, right? Yes. And other irregular release of gas or vapor from a pressurized containment. Could be a valve, could be a storage vessel, could be a pipe or valve, wells, whatever is it. Okay. So basically, it's a kind of leakage, release of gas or vapor from a pressurized container. These emissions actually accidental emission actually because of pressure, either because of faulty components or overlook mishappening. Okay, so that's the definition. Okay, now we'll go into the terminologies now. Parts per million volume, ppmv. See, basically gases found in the atmosphere is a kind of mixture, right friends? And to measure the amount of specific gas in a mixture, ppmv is used, right? Okay. Then mechanical cycle. See, it defined differently for isolation and control valve. Isolation valve, a fully stroke from fully open to fully closed to fully open is called a mechanical stroke, right? Control valve, 50% of travel and 10% of full stroke is known as the mechanical cycle. Okay, this is about the terminologies. You don't have to worry about it as an instrument guide. Okay, thermal cycle, application of temperature on valve from room temperature to test temperature to room temperature is considered as a thermal cycle. Temperature on valve from room temperature to test temperature to room temperature is considered as a thermal cycle. Few more. Type testing. New protocol developed from fugitive emission standard wherein valves are tested at operating pressure and temperature specified by the manufacturer. So this is about the type testing. Of course, we are going to talk about the testing in the subsequent videos. So test gas. Gas with which fugitive emission testing is conducted to measure leakage rate. Okay, right. So helium and methane are the most used test gas. Now this is also one information. Then parts per million, ppm. Method of measurement of concentration of very dilute concentration of substance in a mixture. Okay, concentration of very dilute concentration. So that is parts per million. 1 ppm equal to 1 part of specific substance in 1 million part of mixture. That's it. Okay, good to go? Yes. Now we go into the vital aspect of this video. Sealing type. Okay, what are all the sealing type? You know, friends, in the process of reducing or stopping fugitive emission from valves, the type of valve stem sealing is very important. I think typo error, stem sealing. Stem sealing is very, very important. So each type of sealing has its own advantages and capacity of holding the pressure. Okay, right. So what are all those? One is the die-formed flexible graphite. Okay. Second is braided flexible graphite. Third is engineering sets. It's a combination of die-form and braided. Then bellow sealed batch. Then finally live loading batch. Okay. So these are the 5 types of sealing. Okay. We will discuss each type here. Okay. So this is the look and feel of die-formed graphite, flexible graphite. Diformed flexible graphite with minimum 95% carbon content. Just note down this 95% carbon content is diformed in the ring, okay, with braided carbon or graphite yarn in ring. Okay, that is the construction. So these diform ring are used for higher service temperature. What is that? 850 degree Fahrenheit to 1200 degree Fahrenheit and pressure up to 4000 psi. Okay, very simple. Diform flexible graphite. So capable of fugitive emission near about 500 ppm. See, you have to reduce the fugitive emission, right? But this is, it will give up to 500 ppm, meaning this leakage is, if you go for this graphite, you will get this leakage actually. You cannot make it less, but there are better sealing which will bring this fugitive emission down. That is the point. Okay. Now we talk about the characteristics. It provides enough emission performance for long time. Of course, it will be, provide a long term within this area, 500 ppm. So not attain low leakage rate. We cannot get the low leakage rate if we go with this option, because the low leakage rate demanded by more stringent air quality management and standard performance specified by the end users cannot be met with this. That's it. So the rings are made of special valve stem and box sizes, and it requires actually adjustment to obtain and maintain low emission result. Even for maintaining this, you need to, adjust this rings. Okay, because these rings are made of a specific valve stem and box sizes. You require adjustment. That is the point. Okay. Now we go into the braided flexible. This is the braided flexible graphite. Unlike diform flexible graphite, braided flexible graphite sealing has a more 95% of carbon content. So a little bit better. Okay. That is 95% more than 95% here. And wire reinforced with the flexible graphite yarn. Okay. Again, the temperature requirement is same, 850 degree Fahrenheit to 1200 degree Fahrenheit with a pressure about 4500 psi. That is 4000 psi, and this is a little bit higher pressure rating. And the advantage here is less than 500 ppm fugitive emission. It could be able to bring it down. So when we talk about the characteristic, as I said earlier, wire reinforcement and high carbon purity, more than 95%, and give superior emission performance. Superior in the sense less than 500 ppm. Okay. One size of the sealing component can be used to pack different size of valve with some adjustment. So that is the beauty. One size can be used to pack different size of valves. And low emission result. Low emission means less than 500 ppm. So that is about the braided flexible graphite. Now we go into the engineered set. What is this engineered set? From this you can make out, right? Yes. So it's a combination of diformed flexible graphite and braided. Diformed and braided flexible. So temperature is same actually, 850 degree Fahrenheit to 1200 Fahrenheit, but the pressure of 10,000 psi. So that is the beauty. Low emission, very good, right? 100 to 500 ppm. So characteristics, most effective emission performance, very good. Each sealing set is specifically made for specific type of valve stem and box size. Yeah, customized, right? That's why engineered sets. So easy to install. So this is about the engineered sets. Now we go into the bellow sealed. As you can see here, this is the one. Bellow sealed, okay, type of stem sealing. Okay. So in previous types, previous type means in the dicarbon, here, this one. Diform, flexible, and braided and engineered sets, right? So in the previous types, carbon ring were used, if you have noticed, with 95% or more purity, right? Yes. So in bellow seal, a metallic bellow is used. This totally metallic bellow used in the valve design. Okay. So temperature and pressure depends on the metallurgy, isn't it? Yes. And of course, design construction to match the requirement as per flange pressure class of the valve. Okay. Right. When we talk about the characteristics, it's almost zero emission. There is no like 100 ppm something. Almost zero emission. Very good. So comparatively costly. That is the problem. Okay. And no possibility of adjustment in case of sealing failure. Now you have to replace it completely. So that is about the velocity. Okay. Now, live loading. Okay, as you can see here, the live loading. So live loading concept, all I already discussed, you can watch and get benefited. Huh? I will also give the same playlist, control wall specification. There we talked about live loading in detail, basically. Okay, right. So here the sealing disc spring washers are compressed. As you can see here, the sealing disc washers are compressed on the gland follower. You see here, packing follower, right? Under the gland nuts. Okay. So the sealing disc, okay, spring washers are compressed on the gland follower. Okay, with using this, it compressed on the gland follower under the, this gland nuts. Okay. So temperature and pressure capability depends on the type of seal actually. Of course, these types of seal. So live loading arrangement doesn't enhances emission holding capabilities with increased pressure rating. Here it is not like that actually. So live loading arrangement does not enhances the emission holding with increase in pressure rating. So when we talk about the characteristics, it's used in any type of packing. It add cost actually. Yeah, that is a, and it is used preferred solution for the work that are difficult to monitor and access. That is what. Okay. So this all about this fugitive emission sealing, stem sealing. Okay. The next video will talk about the testing methodology, all those why we need to control the emission, all those aspects. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.